Nope. Playing Ace Attorney. I also reduced the time on the... You don't know? I think we have two Maid Fox outfits. Oh, I need to switch in my water. This is a very thirsty game. So you want to hear something crazy about work? I probably shouldn't talk about stuff about work. It goes on YouTube, but whatever. So I get to work. I told you I work a little bit later than most of my colleagues. So I come in a little bit later and stay later so that we have full coverage over the hours that we're supposed to be covered. I noticed that one of my colleagues came in at the same time I did this morning, and then left like 2 hours before I did. Find something, officer? There's a $5 bill back there. Come on, just a little more. Is there no one working this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue? Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. What are you doing? That's the wrong door. Have you got any suspicious fingerprints, officer? Nope. Just the fingerprints of those involved with the case, sir. So we all know all the players in this case then, huh? It appeared that way, but I have the nagging feeling that we're missing something. I suspect that what we're missing is hiding right here in this crime scene somewhere. Let's talk to the judge. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Oh, very well, you may continue with your testimony. What? Your Honor, it's your testimony I'm after. The judge is so stupid. Oh. I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I begin to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Let's see here. Now then, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. Oh, if you go to take a look through the window at the end of the hall, you'll see a small window. That's the window to the men's restroom. In other words, you can clearly see in this hallway from the men's restroom. And both windows are open! Wait! That's why you didn't see him, because he was sitting here on this bench, and he leaned down for something. When I was getting to the restroom, that Detective Gumshoe, is it? When he was standing in front of the vending machines, buying something from it. I don't know. Francisca's actually growing on me. I didn't like her when she was whipping me all constantly. But there's no way I can phrase this doesn't sound bad. I don't know. She's starting to grow on me. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there's not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain it to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It's really suspicious. That's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Although, well, until the murders occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Ho ho ho. Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's all I'm going to find out from his honor. Stradworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yeah, I was noticing that. He doesn't look any younger, for sure. Also, I thought Gumshoe's coat was different. I thought he got the tan coat after a certain number of trials or something. Sorry to have helped you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Oh, ho, ho. Anytime, Mr. Stradworth. Anytime. Maybe it's Santa Claus. Judges in this country seem rather friendly. Yes, if not a little wishy-washy. However, here they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Yeah, I actually kind of like her more in... this probably is going to sound even worse. I like her more in the younger version. Francisca. I don't know. I just like... maybe it's the model appeals to me more. Detective Bad. That's something I wish to inquire about. I'm glad you guys don't clip me into oblivion. That could be bad. Hey, how about doing some actual work, you? We should inquire. In a Whipping Fox emote, so here's a hug. Yep, there is no Whipping Fox emote. You know, I'm surprised nobody brought that up. You know, maybe it could have been. I wish to inquire into Detective Gumshoe's movements during recess. In the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself, plus I have sole investigative authority. Yeah, no evidence of anything. Detective Gumshoe, so I hear you were the only one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Faraday, that guy was just accused, you know? I just knew something was gonna happen. My detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did you. You can't even protect one lone prosecutor with it.
Hold it!
Francisca, I think you need to apologize. Args, I'm sorry. Hey Mopar, how's it going? Did you sleep good last night? I knew you went to bed right toward the end of the stream. I'm very sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. Humph. I used the phone on the first floor and called the precinct. I told them to send somebody over. And that detective, the one that showed up. So I had a really weird dream. I don't remember it, but I remember it being really weird. And I woke up feeling really good at like 6:30 a.m. And then I went back to sleep and woke up feeling like crap at 7. Which when that happens, that detective's the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad? Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. I forgot here we came up to these defendant lobbies together. As we were in this hallway, we ran into you. She told us that Faraday was really mad. And that he dragged Rail off to lobby number 2 to have a word or something. She did it! She did it! She's the murderer! Problem solved. And that Faraday had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So a choice to have. All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. I thought it was him, but it was her. And around what time did all that take place? Let's see, I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug his assignment, he never left the hallway, not once. Oh, and how can you make such a claim? Oh. One of the guards out in this floor's main lobby swore to me he didn't. Detective never left the hallway. Then where did he disappear off to? Oh, that's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2 just as I suspected. You and I, we were in lobby number 1 next door. The only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It would seem that I am still missing some key piece of information. Detective Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? Yeah. I heard it when I was in defendant lobby number 1. That's why I came running towards the lobby number 2, together with you. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival on the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed the big lug, who was just walking around in the hall, and raced into lobby number 2. That's when we discovered the bodies, in that order. Once you discover the crime scene, right? Yeah, I guess it does. Little miss. I'm about to become a prosecutor very soon. You'll treat me with the dignity I deserve, or else. Oh, if you wave that thing around anymore, and I'll have you arrested for obstruction. Random Fox. I got Pearl Fox. Bum, bum, bum. You wouldn't dare. Haha. Just joking. Gunga! Detective Bad is really something if he can make Francisca behave. Are we about done? Is there anything else I should ask him about? I'd like to know a little more about the circumstances under which you heard the gunshot. Like I said, I was in lobby number 1 with you. I have nothing else to add. Well, his testimony certainly corroborates with what Miss Yu said. Yeah, Don, if you ever want to see, like, all the foxes, there is a link in the About section under Fox Outfits. It looks like me with the witch hat. So, yep, that's it. You can see all the outfits there. Which I certainly corroborates what Miss Yu said. I already asked about that, remember? Oh, I suppose I should ask about something else. Anything else I should ask about? If you could tell me the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again. I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer evidence to the evidence he's holding. But I get the sense he wasn't going to show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him, or he'd be late. And just I thought that, bang, the sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So you heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? Are we done here? I don't have any time to waste. Hold it! Oh, come on. All you're doing is standing in the front of this door doing nothing. Humph. I can sense that he is somewhat investigating. He's somewhat investigating this crime scene. Rather, he's keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Take the bad, may I ask you that you cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate in the first place. Fine then, be abstinent. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles. You may no longer be willing to help us, however. May I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation? Do as you like. Alright, investigation complete. I believe I now have a very firm grasp of what happened here. Arg, well, I do too. Oh, alright, Francisco. Would you care to share what conclusions you've come to? Well, why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know. You should check and see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins, almost. Yeah, well, first we need to pay his honor a visit to correct his testimony. Now, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony, see how it stands up. Alright, so here's the first flaw in the judge's testimony. So aside from the fact that I believe that Gumshoe bent down to pick up the snack cake he dropped at the time the judge looked out the window, there's also the problem that the judge looked out the window and saw Gumshoe was missing. That was well before the trial started, so he would have had to come back. So that was well before the murder took place. Does that make sense? I touch your witness testimony, see how it stands up. Did you doubt me? Am I your new suspect? And since I suppose you could say that, even you, a judge, are nothing but a common witness before Von Karma. Silence in the courtroom. Silence, I say. Well, technically we are in the courtroom. Mr. Prosecutor recommended by mine for Von Karma, Mr. Junior Prosecutor, you bit your tongue again, didn't you? Ahem. As defender of the law, I can never give false testimony. You can place me under oath if you want. Very well, then. Your testimony, if you please. Huh. In the recess, I went to the restroom. There's a window in the hallway aside. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines. When I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. A detective that goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? Oh. I thought you were simply listening to testimonies and I got caught up in the excitement. Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun now. During the recess, I went to the restroom.
Hold it!
Your Honor, why exactly did you pay a visit to the restroom, if I may ask? That's... Oh. Wasn't it obvious? What else do you go to the restroom for? Or maybe, I knew it! You suspect me of something sort of tomfoolery, don't you? Please stay calm, Your Honor. This is going to be much harder than I anticipated. I am sorry, you're right. I need to think things through with a level head. I'm just nervous because so much has happened today with this trial. Let's see. I announced a recess and a time for us to reconvene. Having done all that, I still wasn't able to go to the restroom right away. Why couldn't you? Mr. Faraday had been accused, so I had paperwork to process regarding a new prosecutor. Once I had finished that, I was finally able to make a mad dash to the restroom. At least he stayed consistent on the going to the restroom part of his testimony. There's a window on the hallway side. In other words, I can see into the hallway.
Hold it!
Your Honor, did you really go into the men's restroom? Oh, what? What's the meaning of that statement? I simply meant that perhaps you went to a restroom on a different floor. I had to go for such a long time. And so I could do dash to the closest one to the courtyard. To a courtroom. So, this way. I suppose that's only natural given the circumstances. I ran from the courtroom through this floor's main lobby and down the hallway. What's up, Zowick? Once you entered, you can see there's a window just above the urinals. And it's through that window that you witnessed Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor. Yes, exactly. Your Honor, there's no need to yell. I can hear you just fine. Oh, I guess I put a little too much into that last answer. You clipped me to oblivion? Why would you do that? I got clipped into oblivion. That's funny. Okay, you got me. That's good. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines.
Hold it!
Are you sure the person you witnessed was Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's hard to miss some of his stature, even from as far away as the restroom. Don't really look that far away to me. I can't think of anyone else with that kind of hairstyle and a big beige coat. I was simply wondering if you were mistaken in what you saw. What? Preposterous! My eyes are as sharp as can be. Ready to see through the lies to the truth. Well, recently things do seem to be a bit fuzzier than they used to be. Clearly his eyes are not the only things that have gone fuzzy. His head certainly hasn't. Let me say with all the honor and dignity of a judge, I am not mistaken in what I saw. This was like an egg. When I was about to exit the restroom, it completely disappeared.
Hold it!
It disappeared? But Your Honor, didn't you just say? I saw a detective buying something from the vending machines. Why, yes, I did. The restroom window looks over the courtyard and right into the hallway. Just as I was about to exit, I took another look and there was no one in sight. That led me to the only solution to this mystery. That detective must have gone to the crime scene, lobby number 2 at that point. So he looked into the hallway from the restroom and over the courtyard, did he? Detective goes missing while on duty? That sounds mighty suspicious to me.
Hold it!
I ask you please remain calm. No. I am surfily calm. Being anything but perfectly calm. Appears his honor could not have been mistaken in what he saw. I suppose so, given his line of sight. However, Francisco, why do you suppose our lines of sight are so different? You're referring to my height. Can't you hold that whip still for just a second? How about his honors? Testimony. I believe his line of sight to be an important factor. It's that important, why don't you hurry up and tell him already? Well, there's one more thing I need to do if I am correct on his honor's testimony. I'm going to need to retrace Detective Gumshoe's movements. Alright, what do we have to present? This might be a mistake. Let's present it.
Objection.
Your Honor, there's a very large flaw in your statement just now. Huh? I don't understand what you're talking about. Where is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Never mind, Your Honor. Making such accusatory statements. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm truly sorry, Your Honor. I have to find a flaw in his testimony before the truth escapes me completely. You going to sleep? Alright. Good night, Don. Sleep well. Have good dreams, okay? Let's try this. It might be too early.
Objection.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, what was that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony? Huh. If you truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. That's good advice for anyone. Miles Edgeworth, it's one thing to be passionate about your job. This is real life. This is what some people may say is the pot calling the kettle black. Now, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me. What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who is the culprit? That party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness. If you must know, the uncouth bench seller has already been placed under arrest thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor. Oh, well, that's good. Who was it? We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench. They detected Gumshoe's fingerprints. Not having committed just murder, he had to go and dirty the courthouse too? Guilty! Your Honor, please calm down. While it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess on the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe the detective bought a pack of Swiss cake rolls. I want to call them Swiss cake rolls. Swiss rolls in a vending machine. And then probably sat down on the bench to eat one. Cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor under the bench. And Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true. Oh, I still don't understand. Is this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? Okay. It is indeed. Yeah, they were my favorite when I was growing up. I haven't had them in ages. I try very hard to not eat too many sweets. For one, I tend to like savory snacks better than sweet snacks. Like macaroni and cheese, I have trouble resisting. I can't buy block cheese because I will eat the block of cheese. I don't want to get fat. My issue with weight has been long ingrained in me. Taco. Nom nom nom. Give me taco. Nom 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 nom. Get in my face. Taco. In my face. Nom. Nom 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 nom. Eat taco. I was told growing up that one day I'd get fat. That's what it boils down to. I was told that a lot. Like, very, very much. Like, you know, whenever I'd eat something, like, oh, you're gonna have ice cream? If you eat like that, you're gonna get fat one day. You clear your plate? Oh, if you like that, you're gonna get fat one day. And then one time when I got back from college, I gained about 5 pounds. I didn't gain the freshman 15. I gained 5 pounds. And my mom, supposedly she was joking, but I didn't take it as a joke. She told me I was getting kind of fat. And that was when we went swimming that summer. And so I have trouble eating lots of stuff ever since. Hey, it is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up into the wall, at around a grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out that window. Nagoo! I will say this, if you ever look at a BMI chart, if you ever look for my weight, go find the line between a normal weight and underweight. I toe that line. But I'm technically a healthy weight. Technically. But basically what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot when the hallway is being viewed from the men's restroom. So then... Oof. It seems you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window, it seems someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would effectively disappear from sight. What? Oh, did you finally see, Your Honor? You're on the other side? Testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being on the other line. It's fine. I have trouble with, I will say that I was asked one time if I would ever date someone that weighed 400 pounds. I don't know why that was the thing. I was asked that one time. Actually, I was asked, you know, it was one of those hypothetical things where it's like, oh, you know, if the person you were dating weighed 400 pounds, would you still date them? And my answer at the time was no. And the reasoning for that was that if someone were to suddenly gain a lot of weight, that indicates something is wrong. So I would we'd have to fix a medical issue or fix a eating issue. But I also said, you know, like, you know, I would like say, hey, you know, why don't we... That's correct. I don't care, like, Mr. Universe, if he weighs 400 pounds, that's too big for me. Like, do you really want to date someone that is almost 4 times my size? Do you really want to date someone that's 4 times your size? It's too big. It's too big. I'm not saying there's a problem with it being 400 pounds. I'm saying it is not to my taste. Because I mean, most people I know are double my weight. Most guys I know are double my weight. At least. So double is not necessarily a problem. But when you start getting to like triple, just to keep it family friendly, let's say, like, for example, you know, you want your partner to be able to sit in your lap without feeling like you're gonna, you know, break something. Yeah, I can never eat that much of a person. That's too big. But I did learn from my dear grandmother that the weight of a man's heart is through his stomach. Because it's a lot easier than going through the ribcage. Yes. Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Not necessarily. Ah, sorry. I didn't even say that with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try saying it once. Okay, let me try that again. Hold it! Something of value you'd like to say? Yes, actually there is. I remember something else just now. Miss Edgeworth. Please allow me to testify to the court one more time. If you overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. More info is better than a perfect investigation, right? I hope I didn't make anyone feel bad. I wasn't trying to make anyone feel bad. I was just saying, like... Let's see, I'm trying to think, like, what my upper limit would be on weight. Maybe... I don't know. I don't really... I don't want to say that. That sounds bad. I don't really have an upper limit. There's a certain... There's also a certain fact of, like... if you're a couple and you want to do things together, like for example, if I wanted to go walk my dog, which I don't have a dog, but if if I settle down and married life, retired, I would have a dog, right? I think it'd be fun to go on like a walk with the dog together as a couple with the dog. And I don't know a lot of 400-pound people that can just go on a casual like 2 or 3 mile walk. I remember I went on a work trip one time and I wanted to go like walk the city, and the guys I went with uh, weren't in the best shape, and so they didn't want to go walk the city. I thought it'd be cool just go walk and see stuff, and it kind of sucked because it's like, oh, I'd like to see all these things, and we got to drive around and see some things, but it wasn't the same. And I couldn't go by myself, obviously, because it's not really super safe to be in a city you don't know, where you're clearly a tourist and wandering about. For the most part, I mean, I'm sure I could have, but it's kind of dangerous, Little Fox, big city, it's kind of dangerous. The one with the little girl that was in the pageants. I never saw it, but I remember hearing about it. I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person through the restroom window. That doesn't mean that detective wasn't sitting there when I looked. Yeah, I've got to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. I also feel like when you get to that level, 600 pounds, there are not very many medical issues that can cause you to gain that much weight. That is a self-control issue, and it's not even a self-control issue because at some point you cannot gain weight by yourself. Someone has to keep feeding you, if that makes sense. Like at some point you can't gain the weight by yourself. You need someone assisting you, and at that point that's just a lifestyle. Alright, probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. Gnurk! How's that? That's testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. I remember hearing one of those things about... It was one of those guys, I think it was... a guy he weighed like 800 pounds, and like every morning for breakfast, like his mother, I think, would make him like 4 dozen eggs for breakfast, and then she'd go get him like, a dozen cheeseburgers for lunch, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, he couldn't get out of bed. So he's not feeding himself at that point because he couldn't get out of bed. He's literally stuck in bed his whole life. And when he passed away, or when he, got sick and they had to get him to the hospital, they had to cut the wall out because they couldn't get him to the door. I feel somewhat bad. I have been a mean person at times, and there was a woman that I used to work with that she would come to work every day like 3 or 4 hours early. I'm not kidding, like 3+ hours early. Her shift started in like mid-afternoon, and she would be there before lunchtime. The reason she showed up before lunchtime, she showed up before noon every day, is because she would try to find the closest parking space she could. When people left for lunch, to get lunch, she would take their parking spot. So she'd sit out in her car and just eat. She would eat. She'd bring like, fast food, and she'd just park. And whenever, like, even if it's one space closer, she'd move one space closer. And to the point where she almost always got a spot right next to the door. But one time I was going to the restroom as she was coming in, and the restroom was toward the door. It's in the hallway, but toward the door side. So toward the external door. So on her way in, she had to stop in the restroom to take a break because she couldn't physically walk all the way to her workstation. And it's like, I don't understand like how that happens. And she was like gasping and wheezing, and it sounded like she was gonna die right there in the toilet. But and I felt really bad for her until one of her close friends was saying that I admit I'm not a great person for repeating this, but you guys don't know who she is or was, or I don't even know if she's still alive, but that she had been to the doctor, and the doctor told her that she needed to lose weight, and she told the doctor to shove it. And every day for lunch, she brought this. Not even talking about all the fast food she ate in her car. She would always bring a 2-liter soda, regular soda, with her lunch. Every day. 2 liters. Do you know how many calories are 2 liters of soda? Like, I drink 1 can of soda a day, and my doctor's like, you should probably cut back. Of course, when I cut back, now I'm losing weight again, and struggling to figure out how to get my weight up. So I went out and bought some protein powder. I'm getting way off topic. No more horror stories, got it. But I went out and bought some protein powder. So now, 2 cans a day. Well, I went from 1 can a day, basically 7 a week, to I went to 1 a week. I went back up to 2 cans a week because, oh yeah, we need to kill the ads. I went to 2 cans a week because, okay, so there were 2 reasons. Okay, so the secondary reason, the less reason, is because I was losing weight. Like I was getting to the point where I'm losing weight and getting below my minimum. When I get below my minimum, I start feeling sick. So I have my minimum that I target. The primary reason I did that though is because I had just bought on sale, buy one get one free. I bought 4 12-packs of soda just before I quit drinking soda. So I had 4 unopened 12-packs, and at that rate, it would take me like almost a year to drink them up. I'm like, that's too much. They're all gonna expire, and then I'm wasting money. I hate wasting money. You have no idea how much I hate wasting money. You have no clue how much I hate wasting money. So yeah. So yeah. So I random facts. We got. Oh, that's random facts. All right, so I'm gonna go kill the pre-roll. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted and wasting time. All right, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna run an ad. I'll be right back. Okay, 3 minutes. I'm back. Sorry, I'm running late. I'm back though. We're good. Yeah, ending my random tangent. How's that? That was the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time? I agree before you go around judging others. You should learn to judge your own words. Eek, I'm sorry. Honestly, I thought it sounded just noise proper until just now. I mentioned it right before we restarted the trial. We talked about that. Well, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? Yep, that is the case. I was sworn that I heard a popper going off. I think of it the other day with my grandson. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway? Or whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Or if I may, wait, I'd like to clarify details in your testimony. Wait, weren't we out in the hallway when the gun was fired? I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window.
Hold it!
In that case, do you concede that you were overconfident in your last testimony? And now, hold on there. I just said that it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. Did you know something? I don't think you know when the prints you referenced were left on that bench, do you? Lunga! While you're proving that it's possible the detective was sitting, I still have a problem with just when those fingerprints were left. It's right, I have yet to prove when the fingerprints were left on that bench. My feigns ignorance is honor has seen a lot of life. This judge, I mustn't underestimate him. I don't think it's possible to underestimate this judge. Doesn't mean the detective was sitting there when I looked.
Hold it!
As established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into that hallway? After our call for recess, I handled the change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened? Yes, that sounds very right. Just as I expected. Well, what were you expecting? I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you just made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. Alright, if you insist. Let's see. I looked in that hallway about 20 minutes before you were to reconvene.
Hold it!
20 minutes before we reconvened. Well, what did you do after that? Let's see, I had to make some preparations, so I would rush straight back to the courtroom. I also had to track down a few pieces of paperwork for the various bailiffs. So we rushed back to the courtroom, despite having just heard a gunshot. Well, at the time, I thought it was just the sound of a noise popper, or a balloon popping. But I couldn't think of any other explanation than someone having a birthday party. And now that this has happened, I see. Thinking about the judge's mentioned something to that effect when we reconvened. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail.
Hold it!
It's something that's forgettable, I don't need to hear it. Eek! But all I did was forget to mention it. That sort of issues may work on other people, not on a Von Karma. Favorite outfit, I'm always still in the unseen list? Oh. That's such an important piece of your testimony. I didn't think we had that news so outstanding that hadn't been seen. That's such an important piece of testimony. Please give me a chance to present it. I suppose I have no choice in the matter. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot.
Hold it!
Your Honor, about what you just said. I know, I couldn't believe it myself, but I heard it bang with a gunshot. I heard it loud and clear. No, I need your reaction. And jump in the air. And this, yes, just like this. With a quick total like 117. It's a lot. Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Now then, I must gather myself. Yes. I am, at some point, I'm going to make a spreadsheet. And I'm going to, just go through and make sure all the ones I have are on the list. I must gather myself, yes. When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hall. I should know. I looked. There's no one there. Judge's emotion circuits appear to be stuck on overact. I believe that we finally found the flaw in his Honor's testimony. It's how he's completely oblivious to it. I guess I can't really expect him to be aware of it. Well, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and fill him in. At least that thing finally came in handy. Yeah. Indeed, now see what happens. Now keep in mind, like 17 of them are casual foxes. Yeah, suicide when I presented his honor. Partial fluid spent 3 hours getting the halo working. Yeah, that halo is very complicated.
Objection!
Taming this piece of evidence contradicts one another. I don't feel a contradiction in the air. Crap. Mr. Edgeworth, I advise you to be a little more cautious with what you say. Murga! That's a Murloc sound. It would appear that I was mistaken. Alright. Okay. Let's take a look at evidence. Alright, here we go. I think we're staying here.
Objection!
Number 2 is Classic Fox? I'm not allowed to make an objection. What? Commander Fox is great. Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Egads, I've been overruled? Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. It's your new prosecutor, recommended by Manfred Varm. Ack! Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you bite your tongue on those preposterous names? Eek! I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Francisco. Oh, don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you need a step ladder, or 4 to accomplish that. Mr. Edgeworth. What we got? We got... Oh, Spring Secura Fox B. Spring Secura B Fox. I think this is new. Is this new? You found Cairo's favorite. Mopar, I believe this is new, so we're going to give you a quick refund on that. For finding new Fox. Just gotta get there. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I gotta go to... Can we jump to present? Is this present? Yeah. Can we refund your points? Good to go. This is the Spring Secura B Fox. Mr. Edgeworth. Now, yours are not for that far gone yet. You know, I can still hear just fine. Yeah, I'm doing that when I started doing that whenever the first one is found. The first time you see it. Oh. That's cute. I like it. Very nice. I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. Ha! Your Honor, I have here an extra bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. Well, what did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were reconvened. Fancy ponytail? Oh yeah, it does. Look at it. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be! Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bang! That loud sound of a gunshot. Sound of the gunshot. It kept returning to this point of contention. Piece of evidence. I always did wonder why they found it where I did. I now understand what that gunshot the judge heard really was. Fortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard.
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier. Well, what is that pink substance? It may not look it, but this is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record? Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there's no guarantee the detective was sitting on the bench at that time. Therefore, you believe you must have been at the crime scene to defend at lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Humph, let me ask you something. Do you think the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I said enough that even you can figure out the rest out on your own. No, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. What manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. If it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Can you elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. I want to trade these coins with you. That's it. The balloon the girl was holding explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Munga, who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do? You just remembered? What have I done? I would take Gumshoe a very, very big apology. You were just at the courthouse today? Oh yeah, you were posting pictures of it, right? You were, yeah, jury duty? I'll see to it myself that he's released. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is continue my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, for a murder case, that you weren't part of the inner selection? Oh yeah, I dodged a bullet on the one I got to. It was a multiple week-long murder investigation. And so I would have been stuck doing jury duty for 2 or 3 weeks. But luckily I had just moved, and so I was called for jury duty in the county I used to live in. And so I went to it and said, hey, I moved. Here's my driver's license. They looked at it and said, okay, you're free to go. And so I left. First, resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well, bailiff. Please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation of this case. Yes, I've never actually performed jury duty. I've only attended once, and I got out of it quickly. I think I called once or twice when I was away at college, but I was in a different state. And so, I think my parents just sent in a letter saying that I was not in the state, or whatever. I was doing my mission and found the perfect explanation of this case. Well, what is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a zillion times, pal. I didn't do it. I would judge that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Poor Gumshoe. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? I love it. They lined you all up and pulled true names for a bowl. See, I didn't even make it to that phase, Mopar. We were doing jury selection, and we had there were 100 of us in that room, maybe more. And so we're all in the courtroom sitting, and I brought a book to read. And so I'm sitting there reading my book until hey, does anybody have a reason why I can't join? And I raised my hand yes. And I was like, I'm a fox. And oh yeah, right, must be jury of your peers. The defendant is not a fox, so you're out. So speaking of hasty judgments, Ted Gumshoe. Actually, honestly, what confused me the most and made me the most embarrassed about it is they didn't actually tell me I was excused or whatever. I gave them, said, hey, I moved, I don't live here anymore. They're like, oh, okay. I guess I didn't show my driver's license either. I said I just moved counties. And the judge's like, oh, okay. And I'm just kind of just standing there, okay, what do I do now? And the bailiff opens the door, and I was like, oh, they're telling me to leave. Got it. But nobody actually ever said leave, so I just left. Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgment, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. We have yet to prove he is completely innocent of this crime. I guess so. What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard duty. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just part of the investigation. As such, you may still found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony... Yow! My whip will object loud and clear. If you're found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? Crazy thing last, they tried to get you and your brother at the same time? That's weird. I got you, pal. Thinking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony. I mean, that reminds me of the time where I was working and they called the department phone. We had this phone in the department that was just there on the wall. And I answered the phone like, hey, so-and-so there? And I'm like, oh, no, he's not here today. Like, oh, well, we got random drug tests, so since you answered the phone, you're up. And so I got drug tested because I answered the phone. Back on the state of the crime scene, the judge's testimony. It's obvious Detective Gumshoe is lying. If I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. That's one thing I never understood. Because I, you know, like I got my job and I was working and I still play video games a lot online. And I knew so many people that are talking about how they went to work and they came home and they're like, oh, now time to get high. And they're, you know, doing drugs. You know, I mean, marijuana. I mean, technically it's a drug, but should be legalized. I think so. Tax like cigarettes is fine. I think it should be perfectly legal, but currently it's not legal. So I don't understand how people can use it and work, because every job I've ever worked, drug tests. So I don't know. Just kind of struck me as odd. I guess I'm the weird one though, because I get drug. Well, in theory I get drug tested. I haven't been drug tested in a while. Oh, so the last person that got hired on my same hire date got fired for drug test. It's sad. She was the last person I knew that got hired on the same date. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of the lobby number 2. That time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. My honor's detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. He's still singing the same tired tune. Oh, in that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and the time I pulled the information I need out of him. Is he lying? You're not here to scorehouse Detective Bad's orders.
Hold it!
So was it really Detective Bad who called you down here? You bet it was, pal. I was left in charge of the precinct while everyone was out and this call comes in. I was down here in 1 minute flat, he said. I thought it was my big chance, my first case, so I made a mad dash down here. Although I could exactly get here in a minute flat. So how long did it take you? About 10 minutes, I guess. And what was Detective Bad doing when you finally made it? Waiting for him in the lobby. He was waiting for me down on the first floor in the entranceway, pal. So I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2.
Hold it!
And by he, you mean Detective Bad, of course. This being my first time in this courthouse. He also walked with me up to the 3rd floor hallway in front of the defendant lobbies. Did you meet anyone along the way? Well, as we entered the hallway, we ran into Miss Yu. When we heard from Miss Yu that Mr. Fair is not to be interrupted, that's when Detective Bad told me to stand guard in the hallway, pal. Detective Gumshoe's testimony is matching up with Detective Bad's. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
You couldn't have been in that hallway the whole time. However, is it not fact that you did something while you were in that hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door to lobby number 2, pal. What else? Very well then. What exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply, Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh, I also will mention that my job paid, at the time, my job paid for jury duty as well. So, I got my normal pay for jury duty. Plus, technically I was supposed to give them the money I made from jury duty as well. But my boss is just like, how much do they pay you? And I was like, $12. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's not worth the effort. And so I got an extra $12 or something. I know, it's my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Also, I ended up taking a half day just because I think I got out of the jury duty around lunchtime, and so I went home and had lunch. And I figured it wasn't worth the effort of driving in for a few hours. Because I was still living with my parents at the time. Oh wait, no, I wasn't. Wait, I was living with my parents at the time. Yeah, so technically I did live in the county. Oh no, I'm gonna get arrested. Strike that. Objection. It's about to move an inch. Oh, Red Gumshoe. You mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from the door just like I was ordered not to. Well, why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we're all in shock. And in all of your utter stupidity. Scruffy, if you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Youch! But I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Modern detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal.
Hold it!
Would you also be willing to swear that there was no one else in that hall besides you? Whoa, what are you talking about? I just warned you that I was doing my job, pal. Oh? And what are you acting so nervous for? Whoa, I'm not nervous at all, pal. Anyway, not a single person other than myself was in that hall the whole time. I just let it go. Pursuing this train of thought at this time would just be a waste of time. I have such a foolishly foolish contradiction. And such a foolishly foolish testimony is such a plain old foolish. Indeed. However, in the pursuit of the perfect investigation, I'm afraid we have to deal with it. By squashing it under the weight of the evidence. Alright, what do we want to present? We got the Swiss cake rolls. We got the chocolate fingerprints. I think we present the Swiss cake rolls.
Objection!
I have an objection. Well, what is it, pal? Dead Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things, the courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal? Humph, precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench. Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Hey, Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate, slovenly pig! Eek! I promise to clean up later, I swear. Now, shall we get down to the business? Let's get down to business. About the fact that you didn't even move even a single step from in front of that door. If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Ack! Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, I think Treeborn's the one that wants to get whipped. How'd you manage to get back the bench dirty with your grubby hands? Ouch! Mr. Francisca's whip could do more damage than my words alone can. I mean, you're the one that keeps posting a heart every time she whips someone. I'm just saying. You know. Alright, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Yeah, we still got 34 minutes of pre-rolls. So I didn't want to say anything. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Ty, okay, I'm sorry for lying. That's all I'm sorry for, you got that. Because I'm not holding anything else back. My statement. May sound like it makes sense. However, there is something else I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us? Huh? Oh, of course not. I got nothing else to hide, pal. Oh, this kind of reminds me of something. So I know, like, we want him to be, like, completely honest and tell everything. But I heard a story recently, from Reddit about a guy who, he went to the restroom in a restaurant. He was on a date, first date. He's a college kid. So he goes to the restroom, right? And, while he's in there, he sees this, like, little kid running around in the restroom. A little boy, presumably. He goes to the restroom, you know, washes his hands, goes back to his table. And, he notices that the kid sitting at a table nearby, and the kid's mother is just glaring at him. He didn't think anything of it, though. He just has dinner, and, you know, while he's at dinner, the police show up. So apparently, the police, or the kid told his mother, like, hey, mommy, I saw that man's stuff. You know, his little kid stuff. A kid voice. And so the mom called the police and reported it to the police. And so, the police came and questioned him, and he's like, I mean, I was in there, I saw the kid, but I just used the restroom and left. Nothing happened. But because he told them that he was in there at the same time as the kid, they were able to place him at the scene. Otherwise, it would have been his word versus hers. And so, his date left, obviously, because, you know, he's being arrested. So he got arrested and eventually, you know, was able to get a lawyer out of it. But by the time, you know, the lawyer got him out of the mess, you know, the date that he's been on had told all her friends about it. So everybody on campus knew him. So for his entire time at college, he didn't get another date. He got called before the academic review board because they heard the rumors about him, you know, doing bad things with kids. And so his reputation was basically toast. All because, you know, he told the truth. You know, he didn't do anything. But, you know, if he had said, I don't know, I never saw that kid. I didn't go to that restroom. I don't know what happened. It would have been his word against hers, and the police would have had a much harder time saying a crime had been committed. They would need further evidence. I don't know. It's just crazy stuff to think about. Oh, of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal.
Objection!
Again, I also don't know if that story is true or not. It's just, you know. Oh, if only that were true, Detective Gumshoe. But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else. Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you're aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct? Also, I have this bad habit that if I read something, I tend to mostly believe the side of the person writing it. You're right, because I got one over there too. I could just see, but this one is not as clear. You know, it's not always as clear. This one is white on black. So does it not, like, what the hell does it look like? Yeah. I don't know. I do that. I don't know. I just think of that. So basically this tells me, like, I could read that while stuff is going on here. But when I'm, like, addressing you guys, I tend to look over there. I can put the camera over there so then when I'm turned... Like, what if I put the camera over there? What do you guys think? Do you think that would be weird? It would probably always be off, wouldn't it? It would probably always be a little bit off because I would be... Because you know how sometimes when I turn too far, it looks like I broke my neck? There'd probably be a chance of it happening, just in general. Although it's not that far. I don't know. Huh? Remind me again, pal? Vending machine out in the hallway. It's selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. Nergura. Like it looks like you're looking away from the game to talk to chat. Which is what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed your $5 annual bonus check. Isn't that right? Onga. Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that? Arg, I told you I bought it myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in that hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Wait, don't tell me. You have some kind of proof there was someone else in the hallway, don't you? Correct. As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait. You do. Of course I do. What? How? What proof do I have there must have been someone else there in the hallway? Balloon.
Take that!
What the heck is that? Hey, I knew you didn't really have anything. Prosecutors are all the same, always lying to people. You should stop, you know. What? You should be lectured by the likes of you, detective. Miles, how long do you plan on being strung along by this moronic detective? I don't think he's falling for his lie, because there was definitely a second person. If he was truly alone all along, then that piece of evidence should not exist. Hey, there's much... I guess the thing?
Take that!
Hey, you showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal. Ah, I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls. But if you didn't buy it, that means you must have stolen it. You thief? Well, what? I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You start out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal. I would meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. In that case, what does that say about you, detective? Gnurk! This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone. I gotta sneeze. Oh, there were 2 rolls in this package. Nice, stay successful. There are 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them, but then you gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No way, pal. You got it all wrong. I ate both of them. Oh, good dodge! I fear that we've caught you at last. Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. Oh, turn off autoplay. I fear that they do know each other after all. Why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow? I have a name and it's Kay. Kay what? Kay Faraday. Faraday, perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter? I'm not a you, I'm a Kay. Or Kay. You know, the little girls don't kick other people. That's not a good thing to tell people. It's not hard enough to leave big nasty bruises like the way you do. Don't kick people without reason. Well, you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister. Good Gummy? I guess she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. What a cute nickname you've given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong. Okay. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Rawr! Now then, Kay. Hiss! She's like a stray cat. Or she has to feed or something.
Take that!
Take that! Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down. Oh, Swiss roll. It belongs to you, though, doesn't it? Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy. Oh my. We just stepped in it, didn't we? It just got super awkward. So, you know, how about that sports team, guys? Your father, he's... Ah, don't say another word, pal. She doesn't know it yet. Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. No, do we not have like a sad? Nope, that's not sad. I think we'll stick with that. I overheard the guards talking about how he's not here anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Oh, that's so sad. I'm tearing up. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. It's alright, let it all out. Your father just passed away, after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was young. Ears, come on. Flop. I was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. So I'm pinning my hair down. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to blocking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. Hot bomb! This child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Give her one of these handkerchiefs you have. Okay, here, how about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes? Quiver. Kick him in the chin! Oh. Oh, she did use it! Perfect. I love it. Okay, I love it. Honk! Nugu! My cravat? Don't blow your nose on that. Well, let's learn what that is. It's a cravat. I feel better now, thanks. Okay, are you going to be alright? Yep, I'm already alright. Somehow, I highly doubt it. But I'm not going to push it. I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers. So, I have this thing I've never told to people before. My philosophy on sorrow and grief is to put on a good face when you're, with dealing with other people. You put on your face, and at least be neutral. And then in private you grieve. But, the longer you go, the more, every day it gets a little bit better. Get a little bit better until at some point, at some point, the face you're wearing does match your mood, and you kind of move on. You don't forget, but you just, you start seeing the good things you still have. Promise Dad never cried in front of strangers. And you're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right? Hey, that's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm still going to keep all my promises. You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify you didn't cry just for you. Thank you very much, lady. Ha, it's nothing. I'm only telling the truth after all. It appeared that because her father was a respected prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Kay, what kind of person was your father? Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world. But you, a prosecutor, is a hero of justice, huh? As we are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for the criminals. But you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls. Oh? I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. I've been working really hard. I see. What would you have been working hard on? I'm working hard to keep all of the promises Daddy and I made together. Promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay? Sure, okay. Used to be an exchange diary of sorts between her father and daughter. Trey's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. The notebooks just might come in handy later. Wait, are we... Oh, we just jotted it now. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father. I'm gonna try. Hey, Kay. So I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero, too. Yeah, you're really cool, too, Gummy. Yeah, aren't I, Kay? What is with the two of them? I hand down the verdicts of justice, so that makes me a hero, too. Yes, thanks to your oh-so-heroic testimony. You almost painted that detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that. Gummy's not a bad man, okay? Oh, she's ready to fight again. That poor judge. He's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. Here's you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay. Yeah, we're friends. In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? So I take it you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier. Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was sitting in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi. And what was this? Huh? Oh, before everything got crazy. How long were the two of you together? We only talked for a little while. We went on our own ways. That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while. And that's that. Oh, which means you have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess, isn't that right? Ack, you got me! I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister. Oh, very well then. I'll just have to speak with a good detective in private later. Were you the one who bought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kay? Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. That still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one. Come think of it. She had come and asked me to exchange a handful of change for $1. That's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct? Yeah, thanks so much for doing that, mister. Sure. Let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct? Well, that's why. Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Didn't I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? Yow! Kicker! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question. Sorry about your roughly thing. Sigh. Yes, well, now it's possibly drenched in your nasal mucus. Ew! Ugh, why? Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So here, you can have this one. I don't know if I like that without the thing. Maybe I'm just used to seeing it. I mean, it's perfectly ordinary. Dad said, never take things from a stranger. Also, one of the promises you made in your promise notebook, correct? Hi, Tay. How's it going? I need to make sure I wave. I'm not waving enough. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the lurk. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, look, see, it's right here on this page. Never take things from a stranger, never go anywhere with a stranger. Alright then, I'm not going to give this to you. I'm really allowing you to borrow it. You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me next time we meet. Okay, Dad never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers. Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with little Kay in that hallway. Onga! Grr, I told you to stop being mean to Gummy. Hold it, Miles Edgeworth, there's still something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon? You still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us. That's, well... Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake. Don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. Ah, so that's fine. Told you to take the Gumshoe's motive for lying. Can't explain that, you can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. Well, what? Here's what I believe to be his reason. From a simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. This piece of evidence will show you exactly why. These evidence prove that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay.
Take that!
This is that piece of evidence. What are you showing me that for? Does it seem to add anything to the conversation? I don't get what you're trying to say that, or do you just like showing it off? Are you gonna give that to me, mister? Well, I was wrong. I don't feel that court needs to enter that into the court record at this time. Gurk! What's wrong with everyone? Why are they all teasing me all of a sudden? Well, it's possible that perhaps I made a mistake in this way. Oh, why should I lie for Kay's sake? Oh, I'm so dumb. And I know I hold evidence which shows the reason why. It's evidence. Always give you a smile even if people don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. What does hide do? Nothing. Okay.
Take that!
It's Faraday and Kay's promise notebook. How does that explain anything? You could take a look at this page. It's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover for Kay. What a foolishly fool of a foolish reason for a fool. Yo! Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you? Because I'm your friend, Kay. That's why. Gummy. At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? Guess it's to be you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry, and that stack vending machine was taunting me. But all the cash you had on you was $5. That wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheap side in that machine is $6 pack of Swiss rolls. Yeah, then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up. I was thinking about sharing a stack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll. I only had about $1 in coins. We pulled my $5 to her $1 together. I bought a pack of Swiss rolls together. I was worried about breaking one of my promises. Then Gummy said, "Trey is one scary guy when he gets mad. Don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell, right? Besides, you brought it with me. So you didn't really get it for me, you know? Tell me it's to be okay. He gave me a whole roll to save it and give to Daddy." Who knew Scruffy could be so considerate? Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together. Yeah, I split the other roll and ate it right then. Sweet taste of that cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Anyway, Kay, I believe this also belongs to you. Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It's sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. Just this once, I'll forgive you. That balloon. I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. Because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll. Ha ha ha, wow, you really got me there, pal. So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister. So you kicked me, is that it? You sure are a feisty one. I'm really sorry, mister. It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. About the Swiss roll. Would it be alright with you if I held onto it until Detective Gumshoe was cleared of all charges and free to go? Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay? Of course, I promise. And I believe you have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty. Which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
Objection!
Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. Well, what do you mean? It's quite rude of eavesdrop, Miss Yu. Fuck. Ah, I hate her laugh. She laughs every time, like constantly. Ah ha ha ha. Fine. No fava. I'm being lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people. She has a point, though. But what? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy. Cookie! Oh, no, Cookie. No. Get in my face, Cookie. What have you here? What is the child doing here in the courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child away. What, Miss Callisto, you? That girl is Mr. Faraday's... I know, so what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she used to just run wild all around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her to speak. Nothing of getting underfoot. Suppose you're right, however. As long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Detective, you were in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see, isn't it obvious it could only be the detective? He's the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. Arg! I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put it in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. However, the investigation is far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? I suppose it is. While someone with more experience in the law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Is that a reference to something? Okay, 8 minutes left before we need to do another pre-roll kill. Should we take a short one? Let's take a short one real quick. I'm gonna take a 2-minute one right now. Alright, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna go brush for 2 minutes, okay? I'll be right back. Alright, good timing. Alright, so we got, that gives us 47 minutes, which will put us, you know, we'll still have enough time to take a short one before we go in the stream, so it'll work out pretty well. Alright, I'm back. Ooh, Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. It's unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. Ha ha ha, down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So we're back to square one. And my stupid hair is free again. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. I guess I should have gone an extra like 5 seconds forward. Why did I bounce like that? Oh, because I was taking a drink, probably hit my face. Is this our first save today? It is our first save today. Okay. Okay, we're in Definitive Lobby number 1. A case here. What is an incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers. Uncle Bad, is this it? Is that Detective Bad and Kay over there? Looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. Oh, too bad, but it's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. Since you found it, guess I can let you keep it. Thanks, I'll treasure it always. She seemed to get along rather well. Oh, here, I've got something else for you. Yay, thank you, Uncle Bad. Alright, one of these with Gummy. Gummy. Oh, you mean Gumshoe. Gummy is Sniffle. He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. He got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy, hiccup. I know you'd kill Daddy. Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying. I am not crying. Okay. Oh, this is Mr. from before and the lady too. Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation. That's so, Detective Bad. Yeah, I guess. What? You're just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene. Now you let this child run free? Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? Urunga! I don't have a problem with that, but I'm curious to what Miss Yu was looking into. Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you. Oh, that's right. Hey, mister. Yes, what is it? I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy, I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay? I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. Well, she wandered off while I was pondering. One of the windows in this lobby is open as well. The air conditioner is working just fine in this room. So why did they open it, I wonder? As soon as paintings also should be hanging on the wall of this room. I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it. Why do you say that? Well, a desperate, low-paid detective might make off with it someday. You never know. Should maybe think about hiring a guard. It's obvious she isn't factoring in that guard's salary whatsoever. One incredibly strong scented herbal tea. I fear that more than being relaxing, this scent maybe make one a bit heady instead. He put in a special request for that. No wonder she's so violent. She's been drinking this stuff the whole time. Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this particular topic, ever. These decorative plant's leaves are shinier than the ones in the plant in lobby number 2. It's probably because it's next to the windows, where it's easy to photosynthesize. You'd be right, plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2. Caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they? That's because the courthouse is caretakers, not a bunch of botanists. This television is the same model as the one in the Defender Lobby number 2. It's like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies. Yes. But what about the remote? Where's the remote? The two rooms are basically the same, huh? Seeing out in the courthouse courtyard from here. What's that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion. Probably supposed to be a postmodern design. Well, I thought it's just in design. I can't disagree there. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay. It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. It's like you'd rather be left alone. That's something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. Oh, be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I think twice to open the window. That smell's still here. Perfume, huh? Sweet scent in the air is perfume. It's giving off quite a stench. I bet some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it. Huh. I was born for much more expensive and refined perfume. Seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Odds after you will hold on to this bottle without fail. Arg! I guess you ever be honest about her wants. So now we have the perfume that she wears. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? So I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. Tick. So you're in this room the entire recess. Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. If your story is consistent. I heard you say that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. Said she wanted to talk to me about something. So we came in here. And what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations? Oh, I guess I am. Interesting. Speaking of that lawyer, she seemed to have a great dislike for you. Oof. I see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the K-Gate incident. As I recall, Detective Bao is the lead detective on the case. What if the reason for that her disdain is simply because you failed to guard C's? Because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew? Oh, I also know that today's trial involving the Copian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second K-Gate incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the K-Gate incident. If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Sorry, I'm sleepy. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the K-Gate incident. It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Now let's truth behind the K-Gate incident. Faraday, you and I, as you already know, we 3 were involved with the K-Gate incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. I mean, smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? And that trial was just a front. A facade? Yeah. The case became tainted. All because a witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring sees you was killed. One became the secretary who was arrested. His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about smuggling ring. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. I confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray's probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. Boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Dad's personal hypothesis. What he's trying to do is suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with the smuggling. I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. The man who killed Seizu, Manny Kochin, was a completely different person. He's already been acquitted once of her murder. Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday sees I was supposed to protect them both. Guess you did mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap. What kind of trap? The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap. You mean you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times in one gunfight? No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket, is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the K-Gate incident. I see. I couldn't protect Seiju when the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Clisto Yu. How about when you first met Miss Yu? It's on the day the verdict of the K-Gate incident was handed down, was it not? Yes, Faraday and I. We apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. Then she gave me a hard slap across the face. We certainly had a lot of self-control to stop it just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. You said it was herself. She never wanted either to see either of us ever again. After that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Verde and I, even after the K-Gate incident, had come to a close. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them? Yeah, Yu was pursuing the ring as best she could, as a lawyer. I think she defended Val this time, for the same reason. Don't think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. I actually have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the K-Gate incident, alright? If that, you've not a single qualm about defending a known killer? Don't put words in my mouth, I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. Yeah, the problem is sometimes the text goes at the speed I read, and sometimes it goes like half the speed I read. And so it feels like I'm just like reading one word at a time. Well, it doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you, that's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of Von Kamra? Just like us, you felt that she had to hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day, you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again, in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. So was your relationship to Mr. Faraday? You seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. Oh, is that what it is? The tempo really throws me off. I kind of wish they all went the same speed, so I could just read at normal pace, and not feel like I'm... No, but you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. I haven't noticed the pitch thing either, but I'm also kind of tone deaf. Did we touch a nerve? Humph. I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yata-Garasu. Ah! Been hit by a nut! Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. I had the accusation I was asked to testify of this time. Prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into Yata-Garasu is what's necessary. You claim to know much about the Yata-Garasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? Humph. What you do? This is most obvious in the current scene. She has a higher pitch. What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent toward Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yata-Garasu. What? K-Gate incident and the second K-Gate incident. Both these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there's one point in which they differ. That is the presence or absence of the great thief Yata-Garasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yata-Garasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yata-Garasu. Then near the recess, they were both killed. Did you find that to be the least bit odd? Alexander, stop being around the bush and just spit it out already. Okay, yes, I do kind of hear it now. I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yata-Garasu were both killed at the same time. A reason? Huh? And so in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel I need to learn as much as I can about the Yata-Garasu. It will help you solve this case. And I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yata-Garasu. What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. Nugu! So it still actively whipped me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yata-Garasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yata-Garasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yata-Garasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yata-Garasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. I see. Those are the Yata-Garasu's special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yata-Garasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yata-Garasu right away. But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove he wasn't. I'm not going to dignify that with a response. Can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't. Oh, listen, little girl. I'm not done talking yet. Gnurk! What's different about this time? Was the evidence related to the smuggling ring? Like, first you talk about putting me in a collar and leash, then you talk about giving me a whip? What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yata-Garasu. The Yata-Garasu sent the evidence? Until now, the Yata-Garasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yata-Garasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yata-Garasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yata-Garasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Oh, that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yata-Garasu now. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood, I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Hydrate, you got it. Like 7 years, I think? That's one reason I'm shocked at how much the stuff costs in a vending machine. The only place I've seen stuff that expensive was in Vegas, in the hotels. Like last time I was there, like a can of soda was like $4 in a vending machine. For one can. Like even today, you can buy like a 12-pack for similar to that. If you get it on sale. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. Sigh. It appears His Honor is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. Sigh. I now have greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. I've actually heard that whenever people give testimony, they almost always describe a celebrity instead of the actual person they saw. Oh, they're like 9-inch? Okay, I could kind of see that. But like a pint of milk was still like $8. How much is a pint? Oh, it's a half pint of milk. How much milk is in school lunch? It's a half pint. So that's the size of a, the school. The little lunch, the things you got when in like elementary school. That's like $8 in the vending machine. There's a reason you'd be all depressed about it, Your Honor. Alright, who makes... No, I want to buy a Swiss cake from bakery. How much does that cost to get like a real one? $33? $33 from Walmart. $33 for a Swiss cake roll cake thing. How big is it? $93 for a heart shake from Walmart. Alright, we're not looking at this anymore. I'm gonna get depressed. I was looking at Swiss cake rolls and I googled it. To get an actual bakery, like a big Swiss cake roll, it's like $33 at Walmart. I don't mean to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As judge don't expect you to think about anything other than the verdict. Imported from China? Could be. Francisco, there is no need to further depress His Honor. I'm not trying to mount 2 miles. Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence. Your Honor! Oh. Yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor. Do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job? The ones from Walmart? I actually can't remember the last time I was in Walmart. $12. I might look next time I'm at the grocery store, just to see. Maybe I'll buy one of those for my birthday. Even if they don't celebrate my birthday. That's me rubbing my eye for what it's worth. Yes, I'm sorry. I will accept the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well, in that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. I'm looking at something different? What am I looking at? I mean, I know what I looked at. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm thinking about starting to celebrate my birthday in October when I started streaming. Like, what sign is that? Okay, so I'd either be a Libra or a Scorpio. Let's see. Libras are known for their charm, social grace, and love of beauty. Drawn to partnerships seek balance and harmony in all aspects of life. They're diplomatic, fair mind, enjoy creating aesthetically pleasing environments. I don't think I can be Scorpio. Intense, passionate, and intuitive. They're known for their depth of emotion and strong intuition. Lives deep on the surface. They're also resourceful and can be very protective of those they love. I don't know, that's kind of general. I wouldn't call myself very emotional. Well, in that case, please confirm that all pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that's used the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I guess I am. Maybe I am a Scorpio. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell also includes. Please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. You're a Scorpio? We can celebrate our birthdays together at the same time. Maybe I'll go buy a cake. The piece of evidence that was used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. It may be something that will finally lead me to the truth. I place all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. That's the left one, right? I see. Thank you very much. I'll go and confirm that they're all accounted for. What's this over here, then? It's a witness stand. I'll make sure that each and every person that ever stands here will be found guilty. What? There are others beside the defendant that stand at this podium, you know. I don't care. Make sure you never end up standing at one of these. Or you'll be sorry. I'll keep that in mind. This is evidence related to today's Cadopian Embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag. In the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yeah, it's fine. We can now take a look at the evidence itself and not just data about them. Be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder, too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Gungwa! Don't point your crap at me just because you don't know something. Don't try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also real to see the knife up close. So you have the knife, the gun, an envelope. What's this organizer doing here? That's right, I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Big Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help with the investigation. Big Bad said that? What a strange stroke of luck. I'll never look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't look him in the eyes either. Might as well flip through it too. All rest I have respect to every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Can we even open it? The knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? Has it never crossed your mind to use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? This gun, it was originally used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Indeed. Doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he's in the habit of using it. Looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rel convicted down here. Like the evidence that I need to prove Rel was the killer. The handgun Rel had him on when he was arrested. Showing this tape, I should be able to prove he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rel was the killer in the case. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. Also, evidence that used to prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. It also appeared that he had proof Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. I told you! They played a recording of a gunshot. That's what we heard. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I can have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. Present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. I mean, apparently House had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end. It's believed that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rel may have made about being the real Yatagarasu. He had a way to prove that Mr. Rel was the guilty party in the embassy murder. This organizer clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here. It used to be a key. That looks like the knife. And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. Craftsmanship is superb. This be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer? Garasu's key? He passed us something earlier. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the Yatagars, the one who infiltrated the Canopian embassy. The Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence? Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe. Prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, this is to be expected. Look how it goes with a knife! Well, that's odd. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. That's only as odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Canopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? It's obvious. It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rel. That's only a logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse? Let me think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is fact that his knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Worse, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have liked to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me? Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca. What? And what is it? One piece of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. It's through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
Take that!
Mr. Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. Humph. You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Will the color and the ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? They do remind me of the knife. Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife had this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions Yatagara's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was a knife. No, seriously mean to say... It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. It's impossible. If that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Nurg! Now then, let's examine this knife in a little more detail. It would turn into a key. I think there was such a trick to this thing. The weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key to the Yatagarasu stole. This information is more critical than anything we've learned up to now. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. If that's true, only someone who knew about the key to the knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Maybe the only person it could be is the one who sent the key to in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu. Then maybe Mr. Rel really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, Detective Bad said earlier. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card... We're just checking our time. We've got 9 minutes before we have to take another break. Rel had no idea what it was. I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu. This key is truly the key to solving the case. Alright, we got this thing still. Took a quick look through the documents before the trial started. I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. So I should explain it to you then. It should, perfectly, and in its entirety, if you please. On night September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. Simple of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence he had. Mr. Rel was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He's an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera. The Copian Embassy's security system is supposed to be very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. So you've seen the court contents of the video for yourself? Yes, surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rel on it, even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. The footage includes sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see that, the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that's played in the court. Surveillance video? How did a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? It was shown the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone, indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties? What? No, I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for? No, Your Honor. Most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene? There's something wrong here. I told you! Something about this missing piece of evidence. I called it ages ago. It's clear that for me to find the evidence I seek, I had to pay another visit to the scene of the crime to defend lobby number 2. Let's go! Oh, that's Detective Bad. Who was he with? Oh, was that the wolf guy? I've never seen that officer before. Did you find it? No, not yet. I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue the search. Hey, so you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes. How dare you? Just who you think you are. That's the guy we met at the amusement park. What was that all about? And who was that man just now? Where he was. I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Did you even know that we were standing right here, behind him? He's got a mirror, so yes. I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? Looks like you're paying attention after all. Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. Alas, that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. It actually makes a lot more sense than him, like, looking at his appearance, because from his appearance, he doesn't look like somebody who cares much about how he looks. Tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Xingfei, thought to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy is more useful than Gumshoe, if he is rude. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree, however, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? That little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well. Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you. Oof. I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Oof. Fine, if this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity. Draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. I want to check here first. Let's go to hide TV. Ted Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it's huge compared to his own. How anything you compare with someone thinking he owns have always seemed grandiose. Being grandiose, I'd say the ego of yours could use a little deflating. Can we not look there? We're looking for a tape. Why don't we... Would you not check every VCR you can find? I'm assuming tape is tape. Like VCR tape. Suppose it's impossible to enter or exit through these windows next to the bars. Suppose you're right. Actually, that's not true. I bet a person of small stature could slip in. Would you care to help me test my theory? Unga! Right, I must remember to be more tactful around the vertically challenged. I thought we were talking to him. Earlier you were in lobby number 1, now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what the detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Boy. You'll see, I will draw my answer from you one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation? I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think? Arng! Please, we're asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. Alright, is it time? We got 2 minutes. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and take a... What do we need? 4 minutes? No, sorry, 2 minutes. 2 minutes to get 40 minutes out of it? Yeah, it should be good. Alright, we're gonna take another 2-minute thing, and I'll be right back, okay? 2 minutes. So I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. We're good. We're back. Don't push me, kid. Time of the murder. I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about? Things you don't know about? Aren't you supposed to know everything? There's Emerald. Supposed to know everything? He should. But is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. Let's try showing it to him. Maybe food would be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. Detective Bad. Do you know of the evidence against this item in this photograph? Oof, of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yadagara suitcase. Okay, so let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and the Yadagara's key are one and the same? What? But that's impossible. Looks like you didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yadagara's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday is planning to use this Yadagara's key. I'm running out of water, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my pill with the last of my water. It's a few minutes early, but it'll be okay. Actually, I got a little left. Plan to use the Yadagara's key, but Mr. Bell was not the real Yadagara's. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And neither one of us knew that no one in law enforcement knew either. How do you miss something so as big as this? I noticed this a little while ago. You appear to be searching for something. Maybe this key is what you were searching for? Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. After he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright? But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change. Detective Bad. I ask you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. Answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up. Find the truth behind this case. I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. We heard it. You and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran to lobby number 2. Sounds like the exact same story you told us before. Indeed, however, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Lobby number 1 talking with you.
Hold it!
Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me. Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all. So his answer remains the same as before, I see. We're talking about some trivial things.
Hold it!
Are we sure they're trivial? Let's hope you could explain what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff. It was nothing important. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until the gunshot. The gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder. That would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
Hold it!
Oh, that's what we gotta press on. Detective Bad. You honestly don't remember hearing anything else. Yeah. Is it possible you're so involved in your conversation you missed something? I've been a detective for a long time, and even if I were involved in something, I've got quite the habit of keeping tabs on everything that goes on around me. If there'd been some other strange sound, you can be sure I would have heard it. I suppose for this detective, that's probably very likely. So the gunshot. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together.
Hold it!
And why did the two of you dash out into the hallway together straight away? Because we clearly heard the sound of a gunshot. And we knew it came from somewhere nearby. And how'd you know there was a gunshot? Oof. In my line of work, you hear enough of them to know. So it's only natural for a detective to know what a real gunshot sounds like. Given the circumstances, the only person I could think of whose life would have been in danger was Faraday. That's why I ran out into the hallway right away and headed for where he was. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran to lobby number 2.
Hold it!
You know, one thing bothers me. If Faraday did not shoot the guy, which we believe he did not, wouldn't they have tested his hand for gunpowder residue? That Gumshoe was there in the hallway? Yeah. Why didn't you test that earlier? When I saw Gumshoe, it was after I had heard the gunshot. Having seen him then didn't change the fact that he still could have done it, the deed. Arg. That's exactly what Detective Bad told us before, however. Is there something in particular we should be asking the detective about? Which might be. No one knew the knife was actually the Yatagara's key. Reflecting on that. Perhaps there are other things we know that now that Detective Bad doesn't yet. Because that's be my angle of attack.
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to press on that. Well, we don't think it's him. See, he gave us this.
Objection!
Nope, no good. I show the constitution in your test statement with this. And how you do that? Because I can't see how you can. You care to explain how you just plan to do so in a way that I can comprehend? Yes, well... we botched it. What you're doing right now is thinking up a way to explain it. Then that means it was simply a guess all along, wasn't it, Miles? You saw right through me. Can't keep this up. I will wind up losing the truth if I continue this tactic. Alright, we need to save. I'm not really sure what we were looking for here. I got some ideas. Good night, Mopar. Sleep well, okay? Have good dreams. I did.
Hold it!
After the gunshot, did you notice anything else outside of the ordinary? I hear other strange sounds to that gunshot. The gunshot detected by her was really the one for the murder. That would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. Which piece of evidence? We have a lot of evidence. Alright, so we tried that. Doesn't work. I think it's this. I made your testimony of that statement just now. Wait. Do you not hear the balloon popping?
Objection!
Take it back. Does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding. Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon. Yeah? I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. With what? It was floating! Did he carry, like, helium around with him? As you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you not getting at? Oh, this fragment was found in the hallway, right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was in the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh? So the sound that judge heard was not actually a gunshot? Huh? On top of that, his honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. This means that his honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough, you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Well, don't give me a so. Please prove that there's a flaw in your testimony. Crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Wrong button. Do you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked. Well, what is that supposed to mean? Doors and walls are supposed to be super thick. Window panes are double layered. Top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean... So I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard the sound. No. Gnurk! That's what he was going to say. That means the Scruffy-Face's testimony is completely useless. If it was soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. No go! But all the windows are open! Sounds like it's only natural. I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids? Miles thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around. The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, we can examine the situation in reverse. If standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad. If that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean? How? I just did. Well, it would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? They're as soundproof as you say they are. And how did the sound of a gunshot enter your ears? The soundproof is not soundproof. I disagree with their logic here, but okay. I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought. Means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? Boils down to this: there must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they clearly couldn't have. Looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh? State of the crime scene. Wait, can it be? It's ultra strong perfume you wear. She spilled some of it. Big stretch. You got it. Big stretch. I'm stretching. I'm trying to be a bit more careful about stretching so I don't overstretch and injure my elbow further. Ah! I needed. Oh, ah! Way too noisy. Surveillance video. Yeah, I told you. How did a piece of evidence just disappear? Did it go? No? Can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of evidence. Oh, come on. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet the fragrance of that perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows. Like sounds! Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound! So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, Jake would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. Alright, now I can act. Missing piece of evidence is a video. It shows the moment in which Mr. Bell killed the embassy staff member. Now the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. It should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess. And brought back here. It disappeared after that time. It's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka, the evidence that the missing evidence created for me is a gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? Don't waste time thinking. Let's start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should start, where we should look. And where would that be? I believe we should examine the television. TV? Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Let's go! I won't rest off. Inspect every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Window is wide open. Scent of flowers is being blown in from the outside. I think it softens the heavy air in here somewhat. No, the windows in both lobby number 1 and number 2 are opened. Maybe they're trying to air out the room just like lobby number 1. Or maybe they sought to ease some of the tension through some fresh air. Mr. Faraday and Mr. Bell in the same room, I imagine the latter to be the case. Was there really a need to open the window just for that? I remember Detective Gumshoe touched this. He made a most terrible racket. Even when Scruffy turned the television on, right? Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Detective Gumshoe actually touched the television at all. Furthermore, it seemed more like when a video feed suddenly stops, at least, it did to me. Wonder why that is. Video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. Looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape could not be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but think about it. Would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out. And let's rewind this and see what we have. If I remember correctly, footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see. This is the footage of Mr. Rel shooting the embassy staff member. I knew it. This piece of evidence, this surveillance video, was here all along. This sound, what's the meaning of it? This. Here's Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot you heard. This, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Do you mean that you figured it all out then? Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Fine, in that case, show me what you've got, what you've deduced. Now show what the gunshot Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Alright, so I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Yes. It's connected to...
Eureka!
This evidence will clear away the last remaining contradiction in this case. I believe that piece may actually be proof of a different last of sorts. Does it say will be your last day as a prosecutor? What? It appears I've made a mistake. I know that the last riddle and this answer lies somewhere within this room. Calm down and think it through once more. Yeah, I saw this ages ago. We're just trying to prove it. So let's watch this video and play the whole time, huh? Oh, so other than the killing, there's hardly a sound on the rest of the tape. I wanted the television to make that loud noise when Scruffy got near it. It's probably because the tape had run out and stopped its playback. That's bad luck. That detective has the worst timing in the world, too. Someone purposely lets this video on play. The question is why? That's not the question. Alright, we probably need to save. Because I know what we're trying to prove, I just don't know if I'm going about it the right way. Let's try again. Can I touch the speaker?
Eureka!
Door and windows to this crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed. The killer could have used the gun and no one would have been any the wiser. That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were. Alright, what happened in reality was, Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1 and number 2 in the hallway were open. So naturally the people in those locations could hear it. Other than why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. Why was that necessary in the first place? On a real answer, Miles, I demand satisfaction. But I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? When the crime took place, the killer wanted to fabricate the time of death through precise wishes. They used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. That's why the tape was left running. You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. They couldn't give us a time of death? Must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Fill up the bar. Oh, we didn't fill it up all the way. We're still missing a little bit. That's okay, I think we got enough. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. Says that she has identified the murderer and she wants to clarify something. It's that Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over. I know, I'm not doing good. I also keep getting distracted. So speaking of distracted, okay, I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. We got a whole other part to this. Should we save it for tomorrow, Treeborn? What do you think? We got 13 minutes left. Alright, we'll keep going. We got 13 minutes left. There's no way I finished this, Treeborn. It's way too long. I've got to respond to the artist about the emotes later, too. Before I go to bed. Do you have time for any further edits? Okay, what are you doing here? Hello, mister. I'm still investigating. Yep, we got 12 minutes left. The object you're looking for is already... Okay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? Means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer. Any little task will do. Oh? You're more sympathetic than I thought. Oh. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I also heard a story today that, it was such a sweet story. It was one of those weird prompts with probably fake AI videos. And the question was, when have you ever had a date with a red flag that turned into a green flag? And so basically, it was, so there was a woman who was on a date, and every time they go anywhere, the guy would, change it at the last minute. Change the location of the date. And he also would, like, constantly check his phone. And that, you know, and stuff. And so she thought he was, like, cheating, like a cheating husband. And so he's, like, cheating on his wife with her. And so after about the third date, she finally, you know, confronted him. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, I've lied to you. So I'm fostering these puppies, and they have to be fed formula every 2 hours. And so I always change our dates to somewhere closer to my house so I can get back between courses and feed them. And so the next date, they went to the guy's house, or apartment or whatever. And she said she saw this man, this heavily tattooed man, like sitting on the floor with 6 puppies all around him. He's like bottle feeding them and weighing them individually. And they had their date that just feeding the puppies. It's such a sweet scene. I'm waiting for you, Edgeworth. Who did? Also waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. Was that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we're more than solved this case already. Fuck, don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. I see we even have a viewer in the gallery, and why even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm probably just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there's no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have. And that's all there is to my conclusion in this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for rebuttal. We are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think? How absolutely lucky could you think such a thing? But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is to prove it by showing who the real killer is. Everyone sounds the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around this crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? Also confirmed there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2, which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion. That Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. Oh, but of course. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve. Everyone sounds the suspect as an alibi for when the gun went off.
Hold it!
Suspect. I thought Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Ah ha 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 ha. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. The detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter, eating a Swiss roll. If that is correct. I see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate with what he did with the stacking. I see she's done her research well. Which means I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she was holding. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right?
Hold it!
Hold it! Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not, it's for me to decide. Oh, ah ha 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 ha. The scrunched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. You know, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out of the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. Isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the window and into the garden? Ah ha 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 ha. I really hate her. Let's get her. Let's pin the crown on her. That's the first place everyone looks, silly. These aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know? Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence. It's just someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. Also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal will be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Ah ha 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 ha. Yeah, whatever. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future. Grrk! Which leads us to one unshakable conclusion. Detective Gumshoe is the killer.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? Ah ha ha, but you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. If you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. Ah ha 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 ha. Huh. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. Well, I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it out. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject. There are witnesses for you. There is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else. It's basically the only reason Francisco bothered to show up today. Was it because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to the guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot did you take me for? It doesn't matter when their killer went to lobby number 2. from the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1. The only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated? Time for the tape. But it's too easy.
Take that!
That tape. Yes, exactly what you think it is. This is a surveillance tape of Mr. Vell that the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found to be loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. It was connected to the large television that has volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do, which leads me to the next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come in. Since we now know that the method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection!
Sounds from television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we know. Did we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until only a little while ago. That's right, if their rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. Yeah, we heard the gunshot clear as day. And? That's it, end of story. Oh, but it's not. I should explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room. Windows open. There's actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. It is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection!
Ah ha ha. Probably just coincidence they were both opened at the time.
Objection!
No, it was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. Once we figure that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... the lady who's furiously putting on makeup.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu. I hereby formally indict you of this murder, the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Vell. What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is a killer? That's the first time she's called him Miles instead of Miles Edgeworth. I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Oh, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Ha ha ha, of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tied enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance, quite a bit. Guess it means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? We should probably stop here. We're gonna stop here before we get the rebuttal. That's always been my thing with this game, series. I can tell what happened. Usually, I just don't know, like... I had this issue... Wow, I had this issue in elementary school. Let's exit the game. I had this issue in elementary school. So, we'd have to take math tests. You remember, like, the math test? And I would always know the answer. Cookie. Nom, nom, nom. Give me cookie. Nom, 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 nom. Where's cookie? I can't see myself anymore. Nom, nom. Get the cookie. Alright, I would always know the answer. But my problem was that I didn't do it the way they did. Like, in my mind, it's like, okay, what's 8 times 3? 24. I didn't go and do the long math where you, like, line it up in it, whatever. I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I sneezed. Oh, maybe. Yeah, so I would always have to, like, so I'd write down the question, and then I'd write the answer, and then I'd work from both ends to try to get to the middle. And I never did understand the connection points. I never bothered to learn the long division or whatever thing. But anyway, that's it for me tonight. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great night and a great day tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with more, tomorrow's Wednesday, right? With more, chess puzzles and, of course, Ace Attorney investigations. Hope to see you guys here. Have a good night, alright? Fox out. Night-night.